love the Eagles as much as we do, then hit that subscribe button and stick with us at Eagles Nest News for all the drama, updates, and hype all season long. The rumor mill has been spinning at full force, and now it seems the whispers have solidified into something far more concrete, as Tristan Wirfs, the offensive powerhouse whose name has been on the lips of fans across the league, has reportedly given his nod to the Eagles in a deal that is said to span 2 years. For those who have followed Wirfs' career, it's been a roller coaster of speculation, with every injury update, contract negotiation, and team rumor becoming headline material. And now the anticipation seems to have reached a climax. Sources close to the situation hint that the talks have been intense, stretching over countless hours with agents, team executives, and coaches hashing out the details in what insiders describe as an exhaustive back and forth, the kind that can only happen when a player of Wirfs' caliber is involved. Eagles fans, already notorious for their passionate engagement in trade chatter, have been dissecting every snippet of news, every social media post, every subtle gesture during Wirfs' appearances, hoping for a sign that this deal would finally materialize. The atmosphere is electric, filled with speculation about how Wirfs' arrival could shift the dynamics of the offensive line, change the playbook's flexibility, and create opportunities for emerging stars in the roster, all while maintaining a buzz that keeps sports analysts glued to their screens. Rumor has it that the financial terms were as much a negotiation of ego and ambition as they were of hard numbers, with both sides looking to balance immediate impact with long-term potential, and the 2-year horizon is being seen as a strategic compromise, offering security without stifling future mobility. As the story unfolds, insiders suggest that the deal was delicately timed, not just in response to Wirfs' own career trajectory, but also in anticipation of market shifts, team injuries, and even the subtle psychological games that teams play when negotiating with marquee talents. Fans, naturally, have taken to forums, podcasts, and comment threads, speculating on the implications for rival teams, the potential changes in offensive schemes, and whether Wirfs' presence will catalyze a new era of dominance for the Eagles, creating a narrative that feels larger than the mere signing of a contract. The reaction across the league, although officially muted, has been anything but quiet, with whispers suggesting that multiple teams were in pursuit of Wirfs, creating a competitive tension that insiders claim played a critical role in pushing the Eagles to act decisively. The deal, while finalized, is described as the culmination of a chess game, where every move, every hint of interest, every reported contact, was part of a calculated effort to secure a player whose impact on the field is undeniable and whose reputation off the field makes headlines as effortlessly as his plays make highlights. Analysts are already breaking down the potential for Wirfs to redefine matchups, protect quarterbacks with an intensity that has become his trademark, and act as the linchpin in a unit that thrives on both strategy and brute strength. What's intriguing, according to the buzz, is the 2-year term, which suggests a balance between immediate reinforcement and flexibility, a period long enough to make tangible contributions, yet short enough to allow for renegotiation if the fit exceeds expectations. Industry insiders hint that this may be part of a broader trend, where teams are increasingly willing to invest in short-term, high-impact signings to adjust quickly to league dynamics, injuries, and the shifting currents of player performance. There's talk that behind the scenes, Wirfs' decision was influenced not just by financial incentives, but also by the culture, coaching philosophy, and the perceived trajectory of the Eagles squad, indicating that the move was as much personal as it was professional. The narrative, still evolving, is being fueled by leaks, speculative reports, and strategic ambiguity, all of which keep fans on edge, dissecting every tweet, every cryptic comment, every social media hint, as if each were a piece of a puzzle pointing toward the future. The intrigue is compounded by the fact that Wirfs' signing could trigger a ripple effect across the league, forcing rival teams to reconsider their own rosters, potential trades, and strategic approaches, making this deal far more than an isolated acquisition, but rather a catalyst for a series of cascading adjustments. As the story circulates, sports commentators are already framing the discussion around legacy, ambition, and timing, speculating on how this 2-year window could redefine both Wirfs' career and the Eagles' offensive identity, keeping audiences hooked in a narrative that feels as much like drama as it does like sports. Speculation about the mechanics of the deal continues to dominate discussion boards and fan circles, with theories ranging from intricate incentive clauses to performance bonuses tied to playoff achievements, each detail dissected as if it were a secret formula for success. Rumors suggest that Wirfs' agreement may include conditions that reflect his proven ability to elevate team performance in high-stakes situations, with clauses that reward consistency, leadership, and impact plays, all while maintaining a flexibility that allows both sides to recalibrate if circumstances shift. Beyond the contractual intricacies, the excitement stems from the anticipation of how Wirfs will mesh with the Eagles' existing roster, particularly in a unit that has been scrutinized for gaps and opportunities for innovation. Analysts point to matchups, line combinations, and potential offensive schemes that could maximize Wirfs' strengths, emphasizing that while stats and highlights are important, the subtler effects of a player of his caliber, like morale, cohesion, and game tempo, could prove decisive. Fans are theorizing endlessly, debating whether the Eagles' coaching staff will adapt their strategy to fit Wirfs or whether he will elevate the playbook itself, a question that has inspired countless animated discussions across social media platforms, podcasts, and sports shows. The buzz isn't limited to just the Eagles supporters. League-wide attention has intensified, with rival teams monitoring every development, pondering counter-strategies, and preparing for the potential seismic shifts that Wirfs' presence could create on the field. Inside sources hint at meetings, video sessions, and planning retreats that have been influenced by the expectation of his arrival, suggesting that teams are already adjusting as if the signing had been completed even before the ink dries. The underlying excitement, therefore, is as much about potential as it is about certainty, creating a tension between what is known, what is speculated, and what might unfold in the next seasons, keeping the sports world engaged in an ongoing, high-stakes narrative. The public's response has been fueled by a combination of official announcements and subtle cues, with fans dissecting each element of Wirfs' social media presence, interviews, and past performance for signs of the move's legitimacy. Observers note that his engagement patterns, body language in media appearances, and choice of language in public statements have all been scrutinized, with even minor details triggering waves of discussion online. The rumor's persistence owes much to the fragmented nature of information in the sports world, where confirmed reports are often scarce, but speculation thrives, amplified by fans and commentators eager to be the first to claim insight. Some insiders claim that the deal's timing was a strategic move to preempt rival teams from making counteroffers, a tactical consideration that underscores the competitive intensity behind the scenes. Meanwhile, analysts continue to dissect historical precedents, comparing Wirfs' signing to similar moves in the past, evaluating how short-term, high-impact contracts have altered team trajectories, player legacies, and league dynamics. The narrative has also been colored by the personalities involved, from agents to coaches, creating a multi-layered drama that combines financial negotiation, personal decision-making, and strategic planning. With each passing hour, the story grows more elaborate, feeding the anticipation and keeping audiences locked into a cycle of rumor, confirmation, and speculation, as everyone waits to see exactly how Tristan Wirfs' 2-year commitment to the Eagles will unfold and influence the league's landscape. Analysts argue that Wirfs' potential influence extends beyond individual plays, potentially reshaping offensive schemes, line stability, and even the development of younger talent within the squad. The rumor itself has catalyzed debates about positional importance, coaching flexibility, and roster optimization, with experts weighing in on whether a single signing can trigger cascading effects across multiple areas of a team's performance. Inside sources hint that coaches have been re-evaluating game plans, personnel rotations, and even draft strategies in anticipation of integrating Wirfs, suggesting that the deal's impact is strategic as well as tactical. Fans, naturally, have embraced this narrative with fervor, creating online discussions, memes, and theories that speculate on every conceivable scenario, from immediate on-field contributions to longer-term legacy considerations. Social media buzz indicates that Wirfs' arrival is seen not just as a tactical gain, but as a psychological statement, signaling the Eagles' ambition and intent to rivals and fans alike. There's also speculation about off-field effects, including leadership dynamics, team culture, and how his presence could influence locker room cohesion and mentorship of emerging players. The interplay between concrete expectations and speculative excitement has created a fertile ground for storytelling, where every report, hint, or leak is magnified into a narrative that fuels anticipation. As the rumor continues to circulate, it's clear that the fascination is as much about the unfolding drama as it is about Wirfs' tangible skills, making this signing a centerpiece of conversation in sports circles for months to come. Finally, whispers about the long-term implications of the deal have begun to dominate strategic discussions among fans and insiders alike, with speculation suggesting that the two-year term may allow the Eagles to evaluate performance, market conditions, and roster needs before committing further resources. Analysts argue that this structure reflects a nuanced approach to talent management, balancing immediate impact with flexibility, while keeping pressure on both parties to deliver. Rumors also indicate that Wirfs' signing could trigger a domino effect in player movement across the league, as teams reassess priorities, evaluate cap space, and react to the potential shift in competitive balance. Off-field, the buzz has led to increased media attention, heightened social media engagement, and a flood of fan-generated content, all contributing to the perception that this deal is not merely a transaction, but a significant narrative moment. Strategic discussions within the Eagles organization are reportedly ongoing, with coaching staff and front office aligning on how best to integrate Wirfs into existing schemes, ensure synergy with key players, and maximize the value of this two-year investment. The combination of skill, timing, and narrative intrigue has created a rare convergence of factors that makes this signing both a practical acquisition and a story that captivates the imagination, reinforcing the sense that Tristan Wirfs' move to the Eagles is a story that will reverberate far beyond the immediate headlines, shaping both fan expectations and league dynamics in the seasons ahead. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. As the chatter continues to ripple through the sports world, insiders suggest that Tristan Wirfs' arrival at the Eagles could ignite a cascade of strategic recalibrations across multiple fronts, with rival teams reportedly analyzing every facet of his game and predicting how his integration into the Eagles' offensive line might redefine both immediate matchups and long-term planning. Fans are abuzz with speculation, imagining Wirfs not only as a key protector of the quarterback, but as a potential leader, someone whose presence could alter the team's identity and instill a renewed sense of confidence throughout the roster. Sources whisper that the negotiations themselves were a delicate dance of power, influence, and timing, with both sides aware that perception is nearly as critical as the financials, and that making a statement in the public eye could affect not only player morale, but fan engagement, sponsorship attention, and media narratives. Analysts are dissecting past patterns of similar signings, debating whether a two-year commitment is long enough to cement legacy or merely a strategic bridge, and the consensus is that Wirfs' impact will hinge on subtle synergies, positional chemistry, and adaptability to the Eagles' schemes, all of which are fodder for endless discussion in podcasts, forums, and social media threads. Rumors even suggest that the deal includes performance triggers and incentives that reflect Wirfs' proven ability to elevate games during high-stakes moments, underscoring the league-wide perception of him as a player whose influence extends beyond raw athleticism. The intrigue has grown to such an extent that even casual observers are following every update, waiting for leaks, video hints, or cryptic comments, and each new detail seems to feed the narrative, creating a cycle of speculation, analysis, and anticipation that may last far beyond the initial announcement. Beyond the immediate tactical implications, the whispers indicate that Wirfs' commitment to the Eagles is already reshaping conversations about team composition, draft priorities, and free agency strategy, as executives consider both direct and ripple effects of acquiring a player of his caliber. The intrigue stems not only from the physical impact Wirfs could provide, but from the psychological one, as his presence alone may shift locker room dynamics, inspire teammates, and elevate the performance of younger players whose development could be accelerated by training alongside a player of such high caliber. Social media is rife with speculation about potential alignments, positional shifts, and offensive strategies that could maximize Wirfs' strengths, with theories ranging from line combinations to nuanced adjustments in play-calling tempo. Rumors suggest that the coaching staff has been meticulously planning scenarios, weighing the risk and reward of different alignments and looking at potential mismatches against rival defenses, all while considering the broader narrative impact of making such a bold acquisition public. There is even speculation that this move could influence market behavior, affecting salaries, negotiations, and contract strategies for comparable players, as teams attempt to anticipate both the immediate and long-term consequences of Wirfs' decision. The buzz is fueled further by the perception that the Eagles have acted decisively, signaling intent, ambition, and a willingness to adapt, which fans interpret as a statement that the franchise is not merely participating in the league, but actively shaping the competitive landscape. Conversations in media circles emphasize both the practical and symbolic weight of this signing, suggesting that while the tangible benefits may be quantifiable in game outcomes, the intangible effects, psychological edge, reputation, and influence on rival strategies could be equally significant. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.